Hi, this is Kim with Scholarly Pursuits. Today we're leaving Galway, headed to Doolin, Ireland. Now it's about an hour and a half drive. Jenny will be driving, Sylvia is navigating this trip, and we're headed out. Now, Doolin is a small village. I'm not sure to this day did we actually see the village of Doolin. We drove in, and of course we stayed at a bed and breakfast. I'll tell you about that. Show you some pictures of that. Look at this road. I want you to experience what it was like for us driving in the car. We had a little tiny car. There were four of us, and the steering wheel's on the right hand side. Remember, you drive on the left. There are these brick fences along the way. The roads are pretty narrow. You'll see cows on the hillside, rock fences actually. The greenery is lush, flowers everywhere. It's a beautiful drive, right? The mountains will be off to your right. The speed limit was 50 kilometers. I'm not sure what that is in miles per hour. Somebody will have to do the Google on that. But we traveled through quite a few little towns. Like one of the towns was called Buren, Burren. Yesterday on our trip, of course, we saw lots of sheep, and today we saw lots of cows. Now, Jenny and Sylvia are listening to the music. Sylvia is the DJ for this trip, and they're just chatting. We're kind of listening on their conversation a little bit. But we stop in the middle of nowhere. Now, one of the folks on the trip, be sure and ask people for places to see and things to do when you're traveling. That's a travel tip I have for you. And we're a very friendly bunch, so of course we did that. But one of the places that was recommended to us to see was a chocolate factory. It's about 30 minutes from Galway. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's called Hazel Mountain Chocolate. I don't really have any pictures of that. Here we're at the ferry stop. We're at the parking lot getting ready to board the ferry. But if you get a chance, stop by that Hazel Mountain Chocolate. The chocolate's great. Jenny bought some. We plan to see the Cliffs of Moher, and I'll tell you a little bit about the Cliffs of Moher. So the cliffs stretch over 8 miles long, and they can reach up to 700 feet. So that was sort of some of the measurements I read. Now the ferry is going to travel along the North Atlantic Ocean. The cliffs are UNESCO listed. They're part of UNESCO, and it is beautiful. Now you can opt to walk along the cliffs. You can kind of go up there and walk along, but we prefer to get the view from the sea level, and so that's why we decided to ride the ferry. Now, when you get to the ferry, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience. It wasn't everybody's experience, but I think it's a must-see, a must-do. How you do it might be debatable. So watch the beautiful scenery along this video that I'm sharing with you. We're on the shoreline waiting to board the ferry. I will say make sure you're bundled up. Make sure you wear hats, bring some light gloves, some rain gear. It was pretty windy. Of course, we were traveling in June of the year, so this is what the experience would be like for you. I was a little chilly, and I don't think I had really prepared the best as far as dress. But if you just look at there's nothing more beautiful than looking at the ocean, right? Looking out here at the Atlantic Ocean. So I'm going to continue telling you a little bit more about the trip. So again, Doolin, there were some touristy things to do. It's a little village. We stayed at a bed and breakfast. Of course, that was beautiful, and there's some pictures coming up in this video. I'm going to end my voiceover commentary for just a few minutes, and then as we get on the ferry, I'll tell you about my experience. Now, the name of the ferry that we took was the Doolin Ferry. This picture is Sylvia, and as you can see, she's bundled up. And then this is the sisters just kind of chatting and talking. So we used what we had. We had scarves and stuff that we had bought. Actually, I'm going to keep talking, though, you guys. So this is the seats of the actual ferry. Now, this is what the ocean was like. The Atlantic Ocean was like when we were on the ferry. This is some of the pictures from that ferry ride. And I sat on the lower level. Now, you can see how my camera's I'm using my cell phone as the camera is kind of moving around a little bit. Now, I sat on the lower deck. I should have wondered why one of the deck workers, Doolin ferry workers, came down with a mop. And then he also brought some plastic bags. I took the plastic bags because, as you know, I like free things, and they were free. He was giving out plastic bags, so I just took it out. I never know what I would need a plastic bag for. You put dirty clothes in it if you didn't bring one. Just lots of things you can use a plastic bag for. Well, unbeknownst to me, that bag was for the people. That was basically like the airlines. They give you a bag in the case that you're gonna throw up. I didn't throw up. I want to make sure y'all know that right off. But I did get really, really nauseated. And I kind of forgot, I think, that I do get nauseated. I think this is something that's developed in older age for me because I've been on cruises and stuff and I never had that problem. But now, in this point in my life, I get really seasick. I don't know if it would have been better if I sat at the top. Sylvia said nobody got sick at the top. She had a great view. I went to the bottom, and I was sick. There was some kids on there that were just so sick. They would be so playing and talking, and all of a sudden it would just hit them, and then they just start throwing up all over the place. It was really kind of gross. So if you have kids, make sure you need to give them some Dramamine. If your doctor says they can have Dramamine, give them something to help with the seasick if that's something that you're concerned with. Because I got nauseous. Amy and Jenny sat down below. Now I don't know if that's the cliffs of Moher or not. That's some video that I took on this trip because I contend that I never saw the cliffs, but I was sick a lot of the trip. So anyway, it's just kind of a funny. This is our bed and breakfast, one of the lodgings that we stayed at. It was so beautiful. I'm going to show you a picture of the rooms. We had 2 rooms. Jenny and Sylvia shared a room, and Amy and I shared a room. And this is outside. We got to hear music. Some local musicians played that evening. It was so much fun. There was 2 young sisters looked like, and 2 men that played Irish songs, and it was in this establishment, the restaurant kind of bar. It was so interesting. I wish I had a picture. I had planned to put a picture of the instrument because they played a native instrument. One of the guys did from Ireland. But this is us at mealtime, and some of the food that we ate. I think might be an egg. I'm not sure. And then some of the pastries that we ate that part of the trip. But the Fiddle and Bowl, if you get a chance, stay there. The staff was exceptional. It's not like a big chain hotel. Like I said, it's a bed and breakfast, but everyone was so accommodating. Our rooms were great. We enjoyed our stay at this particular bed and breakfast our travel agent picked out for us. And this is some of the food that we ate, salads and different things. And I just wanted to show you, it seems like they're more concerned with reusable things because our juices were in bottles, which we just love that. Thank you so much for watching. This is Kim with Scholarly Pursuits.